Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to SF1 GP1 here for round 18, live at the Japanese Grand Prix, otherwise known as Suzuka SF1 Roads in the comms booth to give you guys all the action here for Q3. Skipping Q1 and Q2, 16 drivers have made it this evening for our final race, I believe, of 2020. But we're going to have a 2-week break for the holidays to get these guys to be able to spend time with their families as well as enjoy a little bit of time off before we go for our 4 final rounds of the season. This being round 18, rain has hit, and it looks like it is hit heavy. I think these guys are on full wet tires, so they had a dry Q1, a intermediate session in Q2, and now a full wet in Q3. So this could shake up a bit of the standings here going into the Japanese Grand Prix. Who can get pole? We're going to wait to see what happens. Let's see who might be first out. It looks like it's going to be Enzo, who is actually the first out on track. So we're going to stay on board with him. He might actually give us our first hot lap in this session, give us what they call a banker lap. Just wait for him to come around. A lot of the cars being a bit twitchy on track, I've noticed, because it is a dry race. So I believe a lot of these guys are going to be running a full dry compound or full dry setup. So let's jump on board with Enzo, our 2-time SF1 GP1 champion, coming down to start his lap here, getting a little out of shape there. The rain is definitely coming down. Coming up to turn 1 and 2, hard on the brakes. We're going to glide the car through the 2 right-handers, famous for Senna and Prost, colliding there twice, I believe. Coming up to the Senna S's here. Enzo's taking it quite nicely. His car is really turning in for possibly being a dry setup. I wonder if he's bumped his front wings up just a bit. Handling those S's quite nicely. Easy not to catch this out right-hand curve because it will spit the back end of the car out as Enzo gets a little sideways. Ooh, Enzo almost lost it. He's going to have to abandon this lap, I believe. Who's going to be right behind him? Keeping an eye. It looks like it's going to be one of the Alfa Romeos. It's going to be SF1 Stig. Let's see how he does. Jump on board with him. Felt pretty confident with the rain that has hit. Both Alphas making Q3 as well as both. Both Mercedes have made Q3. It is a dash to the end of the season for the combined championship between Mercedes and Alfa Romeo. Who's going to take that title? I know Harrison and myself quite competitive when it comes to our teams trying to push each other. Stig goes a bit wide. It's going to be an invalidation. A lot of guys struggling here. We have Shuf, who's going to be the next guy on target to finish the lap. Looks like he gets through that corner quite nicely. Let's jump on board with him. That rain is coming down. You can see the puddles on the track. Sets a personal sector best right now, this being his first lap. You would expect to see that coming into the final couple corners here. Enzo does set a lap, but I believe he can definitely improve on a 44.6. Shuf is going to come down the line, easy on the throttle, don't want to spit the back end of the car out. He's going to cross with a 43.1. We have a couple guys now crossing the line. Anton, who makes it back this evening, 41.2. Harrison, 42.4. So Anton almost a second quicker than Harrison in P2 right now. Anton might steal pole position here this evening. I wonder if he's opted for a wet setup for quali and just going to live with it during the race, maybe bump the wings down. Let's take a look at some of the other guys. They're looking across the line. Hellboy does cross the line but doesn't set a time. Abdi is on a lap. Looks like he's going to finish his lap here. It is definitely downpouring in this qualifying session. When he crosses the line, he's going to set a 45.1, so we just have a Ruzi on an outlap. Hellboy, we have a Renault that's around. Soap has lost control of his car. Let's jump back with who's going to cross the line first. It looks like it's going to be Stig. Where's Hellboy? Hellboy's a little bit further behind. Look at the rain coming down. I haven't seen the rain this heavy in a long time in this game. Stig does have a car just ahead of him. Is he going to use that as a bit of a tow? Coming across 130R or 180R. I can't remember which one it is. That is Russia ahead of him. maybe giving him a bit of a cheeky toe. Going down the line, what is Stig going to set here for his qualifying position? Goes P2 with a 41.8, so bests Harrison and Enzo. Gets himself on the starting row grid. Jump back with Hellboy, who's on a lap. He was on a lap. I think he's abandoned that lap. Let's jump on board with Aruzia to see how he gets on for his first go here. Ev, real quick. There we go. Took care of a little business. Teaching SF1 Carlos how to do it. You guys doing this evening? I am pumped for this race. It's good to see Anton back in this evening. See if Ruzia can get ahead of some of the guys just above him, like Hubdi, So, Shuv. Tracks are definitely looking a bit dangerous. Harrison does improve to a 41.9, still not good enough to get ahead of Stig or Anton. Is sitting P3 still. 4 minutes and 35 seconds remain in Q3. What kind of time can Aruzia get? Cuts that chicane just a bit, but it looks like it's not going to invalidate him. He's going to cross the line with a 30 or a 43.2. So this man is yet to pit, or not yet to pit. I'm already getting ahead of myself. Yet to finish a lap. He's in the pits right now. Hellboy, let's see if he can get himself a time. But ladies and gentlemen, look at the rain coming out. I'm going to take a look at this man who returns this evening. A couple weeks off. Looks like he's doing the business, though, in that Racing Point, which is soon going to be changed to the Aston Martin team. See if he can improve on his 41.2. I'm sure Enzo actually goes P2. I missed that. So it puts Stig down to P3 and Harrison down to P4. But Anton right now on an out lap. We'll jump on board with him, see how he handles his lap here at the Suzuka circuit, which is full on wet. So if you guys just join us, we're not going to spoil it. I won't give you any terrible details, but it is a dry race. So these guys have that to look forward to. Let's jump on board with Anton. He's going to try to improve on his 41.2, which is a massive lap already in the wet conditions. Coming up to turn 1, the way he turns this car, and there's a reason why he was invited to the esports. While you guys ride with him, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go refill my coffee for this race. So you guys enjoy Anton's flyer. I am back. Easy on the curves. Anton takes that quite nicely. There's 2 minutes remaining in the session, so can these guys improve and try to get up near this man who's driving the wheels off of this car? Almost took that full out. That is impressive in the rain. Locks up the tires just a bit coming into the final 2 chicanes. They've gotten rid of the bump that used to be here on 2019, which I think a lot of drivers are happy about. Crosses the line and improves to a 39.1, which is absolutely flying. I don't know if some of these guys will have the chance to attack that time. Hubdi going for another lap already. We have Aruzi on another lap. Aruzi looks like he's going to finish this lap up. Stay on board with the Mercedes driver to see if he improves on his 42.2. Good pace by Aruzi this evening. Goes P2. What a lap from Aruzi, 41.3. So the track might be improving just a bit. Nobody has gone to an intermediate compound though. Hellboy invalidates this lap, so he's going to have a one-shot deal towards the end of this lap. He's got 40 seconds pretty much to get back to the start-finish line. Take a look now. We have his teammate, Soap. That's not... Yeah, Soap. Let's take a look. We have Shoof. No, Chatalulu, who's going to try to cross. He's on an outlap. And next up will be Enzo, who's on an outlap as well. We have a Ferrari moving out of the way. No, it was one of the Alfa Romeos. It was Hubdi, who's out of fuel. So that's going to be his session over with. Sets a 42 flat. Is that good enough to say P6? And then we have, taking a look now, it is the man himself leading the championship, Harrison in that Mercedes. On a flyer right now. Let's see if he can improve. I think he's going to be the next guy that sets a lap. 39.1 is pretty massive though. As Anton improves again with a 39, a little bit quicker 39 flat. Harrison coming up. Can he get close to that time? Soap goes P2 with a 40 flat. Here comes Harrison. 39.2. Oh, just 2 tenths off of pole position. So it is going to be close between those two. They've had a historic battle all throughout this season. Ruzia gets a little sideways, crosses the line, but crashes the car. Who's going to be next? It's going to be Stig. Stig crosses P3. Taking a look at the rest of the guys, we have, I believe that was Shoof, who's, yeah, he's lost traction of the car. Chatalulu is looking like he's going to come up. Sets a personal, no, that is a session best sector 2. Can he get himself closer up to the top? I wonder if the track is definitely improving here at the late stages of Q3. Shoof has retired from the pits. Chatalulu is going to cross the line with a 40, goes P5. Take a look at this man, Enzo, two-time champion of GP1. Can he get himself close to that starting grid? The front row. Easy on the throttle, does it? He's gonna cross the line, goes. I missed it. I didn't run at 39. Or is he gonna start P4? So he's doing a second row of the grid here at the Japanese Grand Prix. What a qualifying session. We're gonna give you guys a run. Anton grabs pole position at the Japanese Grand Prix. We have Harrison starting right next to him. The two battling out for the title. SF1 Stig starts third. Really good showing from the Alfa Romeo driver. Enzo P4. Soap P5, Chatalulu P6, Ruzia P7, Hellboy P8, we have Hubdi P9, and Shoof are going to be your top 10 drivers this evening. So all of these drivers are going to have a free choice of tires to begin this race. Typically, you can run the Japanese Grand Prix on a medium to hard compound, which is a safer bet, but you can go from a soft to a hard compound. We'll see what these guys do once we load up for the race. I'll give you guys a points rundown so far this season, and we'll have that 5-minute complimentary break for the drivers. Look at that sun shining. I bet a lot of these guys are going to be interested and happy to see that sun. Not interested, but super happy. We'll give you guys a look at the combined. This is GP3, 2, and 1 working as a team towards a constructor's points. We have Alfa Romeo leading the way, taking over the lead from Mercedes, who took it over for a couple rounds and have now had a nice battle. I mean, the points gap is 6 points, so I think the two teams are going to have a battle the whole way up to the final at Abu Dhabi. We have Haas sitting in third. Ferrari is in fourth, making their way up the table. Racing Point dropping just a bit down to fifth. Red Bull move up. We have AlphaTauri staying seventh. Williams dropped quite a bit down to P8, or not P8, but position 8. We have Renault holding on to ninth, and McLaren still at the bottom of the table. So I believe that next season, McLaren are going to try to make a push to come up I think they can call this one as it stands, but we'll give you guys what you really want to see. The Drivers' Championship points. Harrison leading the way by quite a distance as Anton missed quite a few races the last couple of weeks, but he's back here. Zero, unfortunately, retired from Q1 as we had a driver jump in. He is started, I think he's starting this race, P16. In third right now. SF1 Stig is fourth, making his way past Enzo last week. Shuf is in P6. We have Amandale, who did not make it this evening. Rusi at 8th. We have Hubdi 9th. So makes his way up the table to 10th. We have Tom slipping to 11th. Jono had a little bit of a personal injury, so he's not going to be able to make it into the last couple races. Hellboy is in 13th. Chattalulu 14th. We have Lord Eros in 15th. Maddest Gamer Boss in 16th. Not here this evening. I think Livid was supposed to help race run, but he's not here. Neymar not here. We have Aldifer's not here. Ryan's not here, and Tyler Clan is not here. So a couple of reserves racing this evening. We'll give you guys just a bit of a moment. They should tell me when. Take a look here. So they're going to be going at the 35 mark. So we have 2 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen, right before these guys set off. Give my voice just a little bit of a break, and then we'll be here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is at 35 mark. Sorry, I was resting my voice just a bit because these guys usually make me talk in circles because they keep it quite entertaining and juicy. We're going to get a spicy race after this one. 27 laps these guys are going to have to contend with this evening. Last race for 2 weeks, so you know the shoulders are going to be out. The guys are going to look to push and impress their team managers. We're going to catch you guys, and we're going to catch these drivers. Let's see them race it out. One of my favorite circuits on the map, especially on 2020, is such a good track to drive. But these guys are going to look to push. Now, I'm going to bring you all of this race and the action itself. Trying to wrap my head around this. What is going to happen? Let me get that table off so you guys can see the screen in full detail. Waiting for those 5 red lights to start the formation lap. Gonna click that mini map off. I don't necessarily need it, but Anton is gonna start. Give you guys a rundown of the rest of the field so far. As SF1 Tom qualified P11, Lord, who is a reserve, as well as Croce, Fantastic, Devla, but unfortunately Zero, a full-time GP1 driver, retired and got caught out to P16. But that might help him depending on how chaotic turn 1 is. Give you guys a look at the tires. All mediums, couple softs. Nobody opting to go for the hard compound, which is interesting. So these tires are definitely going to be fresh as they had rain in Q2 and 3, so all of these drivers will have a fresh set of to go here. Give you guys a prediction, soft to hard compounds for Zero, which I almost all the time call Benny on screen. I have to get away from that. That is his gamer tag Zero. And starting on pole, his championship rival, starting just behind him, Stig, having a good solid qualifying position, starting on the second row of the grid this evening with that Alfa Romeo. Enzo, our two-time GP1 champion, looking to have a nice battle with these guys just ahead of him. So having a solid go in qualifying, starting P5. We have Chattalulu P6, Aruzia P7, Hellboy P8, and Hubdy P9. Definitely going to be an interesting mid-pack fight this evening. Aruzia and might have got tangled up with Chattalulu and put them both on the naughty step. At least they're pretty much around for their formation lap, so it shouldn't affect their tires too much. Temperatures on this game are very vital, both track and tire temperatures. Anton lining up to his grid spot, Harrison following suit. We have all the guys jumping up, keep it back to Zero. 5 red lights here at Suzuku. Zuku. Suzuku is a word game, or a number game. Zero lined up to his grid now, just waiting for those 5 red lights. What is a weird camera angle? Can I get it better? There we go. 5 red lights are lit, ladies and gentlemen, and we are away for this Grand Prix. Who gets a good start? Looks like Stig spins the tires just a bit. Enzo's going to have a good clean run. Whoa, we have Renault really in deep. Into turn 1 we go. Enzo gets the run on the Alpha. Stig falls to P4. Keep an eye on the rest. Oh, we have a collision with Aruzia and somebody else in the back. Aruzia is around. What has happened to Aruzia? He is not missing anything off his wings, so no damage to report from that Mercedes. This man has taken quite a lead already, as Harrison's chasing him in P2. Jump on board with some of these guys in a mid-pack battle. Jump on board with Schuf here, chasing the Alfa Romeo. Looking to have a look. Is he going to have a look here? That's not a place I would make a look. Alfa gives him space, though, into the hairpin. But the Alpha gets better traction out of that corner. So Schuf's going to follow behind. Thinking about having a look here. Schuf puts it up through the inside, just ahead of the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo runs a bit wide, so does Schuf. And I think that, ooh, Schuf gets a little bit of the curve. That's not going to help his case. As we have Esteban Tom now looking for a move here on the Red Bull. Oh, give me a better camera angle than that. Go Masters. These guys all battling out, scrapping for positions in the opening lap. That is going to be the first lap in the books, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get the Delta up for you guys now. I think the Delta is all sorts of messed up. There's no way. Yeah, Anton's definitely still leading. Once the Delta comes back, I can give you guys a better look at the battles that are going on in the track so far. It is unfortunate. So Zero dives to the pits as well. I wonder if there's a collision between Aruzia and Zero. I'm not sure. Zero's on his way out. Aruzia did have to get a new front wing. When is the Delta going to sort itself, please? I know this man is leading. By how much, though, is the case. Harrison can see him just ahead. Alright, he's not, probably about a second and a half. Harrison's actually pulling quite a bit of gap between himself and Enzo. 1.9 it looks to be. As Stig has his hands full with soap and soap. And Esteban Tom, let's run on board with this battle going on. Oh, the Renault and the Red Bull touch. Schuf up ahead to P5. Tom is making his gains on this yellow sector. Fantastic is out of this race. What is happening? Let's jump on board with Zero. We have a virtual safety car here at lap 2. Where is that Ferrari parked? Haven't seen it quite yet. Oh, he's on the outside. He must have grabbed the curb on the inside left and it spit the car out. So virtual safety car here. The guys will have to follow the positive delta to make sure you don't go negative or you'll get a drive-through. I believe it is a stop-go, a 5-second stop-go. Keep an eye on this battle. These guys, Soap, Shoof, and Stig really having to go, and as well as Chattalulu and Tom have caught up with this pack. So, like I said, I believe the mid-pack battle this evening is going to be quite intense. I believe Enzo, Harrison, back to Green Flag Racing. DRS is now available for these drivers. I believe there is only one DRS zone here at Japan as the start-finish line. We're going to ride with Chattalulu going up into the hairpin. Almost touched the back of SF1 Tom in that McLaren. Really good to get out and pull out to the right hand. Rogi's 5.6 seconds. Van State left the session. You can understand why. Unfortunate day at the office for the Ferrari driver. A lot of these guys jostling. There's a train of cars looking for P4 here. Jump up forward, SF1 Stig's rear view mirror. Shoof looked, had a thought, maybe send the car in deep like Ricardo would. Thought better of it, tucked it back behind the Alfa Romeo driver. Stig's going to go defensive and go to the inside. As Shoof's going to look to have a look on the outside. DRS is his. Shoof and Stig going in. Stig lets him have the corner, so that is Shoof up to P4. 1.9 separates him from the man on the podium, Enzo. Can he get himself closer? These guys in the middle pack are battling like crazy. Hubdy must have pitted at some point. Zero is catching him. Zero makes his way up to 11. I think Hellboy actually pitted as well. Lord reserving this evening for that fast team. Shoof gets himself a 3-second time penalty. That is our first one of the day, so that is going to hinder him for the rest of the race. Got to keep it on this mid-pack battle because Anton's already pulled out a 4.1 second gap to Harrison. That man showed up to race this evening. Had he not missed so many races, I think he would have a firm hold on that title. Chattalulu now on the back of that McLaren. Can he get any closer? Anton sets a fast lap of the race with a 29.7. Be interesting to see if he goes to a soft compound at some point and what kind of time he can put in for the race. A lot of these guys are going to have DRS. It's going to be a DRS train here down the start-finish line. Lap 5 has already started. Senna S's where you can either make or break your lap here. Dirty air is not going to help. Chattalulu and that AlphaTauri chasing the McLaren. I think the McLaren is struggling a bit from the air ahead from Soap's car. Easy to touch that curb. As Shoof gets another 3-second time penalty. Shoof is now up to 6 seconds. That's him back in P8 right now currently, as these guys are running really close together. So that's going to move everybody up a position. So Stig's going to go up to P4. That's actually big time. Hubdy is starting to catch Croce there. Chattalulu's having a look on the McLaren, thought better of it, tucked it behind. You can tell he wants to get around this McLaren driver as soon as possible. Sector 1 yellow. I'm not sure who that might be for. Bumbledore had an incident. Missing an end plate. No, he's not. Here comes Aruzzi looking for a look. Oh, they make collision. Bumbledore is into the gravel. Aruzzi is out through. That might be a clip for the stewards going into the holiday break. Take a look at this man, completely controlling the race so far. Harrison in P2, trying to chase him down. 5.2 seconds now is the gap. But what this battle between these guys is just going crazy. Chattalulu's actually gotten around the McLaren driver. SF1 Tom chasing him. SF1 Tom having a bit of bad luck the last couple of weeks as he touches the crap phone, almost lost the car. I think Chattalulu did the same. What a race these guys in the mid-pack are going to have. I believe the top three are in a class of their own this evening. Shuf with 3 seconds, or actually 6 seconds of penalties to his name, sitting 2.9 seconds behind Enzo. Can Tom get back to the gearbox of Chattalulu and have a look? Is Chattalulu going to push himself further up this grid and get around Soap at some point? We do have Stig. He's a little further off from Shuf, but he will have DRS. I have a lovely aerial camera. Anton sets another fast lap of a 29.7. I do happen to love my aerial cameras, as you guys would know. Here comes SF1 Stig. Is he close enough? DRS is open. I think he's a little too far back to have a look. You kind of want to be around that 3/10, 4/10 mark to even have a go. Nobody made a move on that occasion. Croce, 13.1 seconds. Hubdy is hauling him in quite a bit here. 7 seconds now separates him from Croce. Zero is catching Hubdy as well. So I think some of these guys at the back, what they need is a safety car. Will we have a safety car at some point? Or will this be a clean run the whole way through besides that virtual safety car? Up on board with Chattalulu. Chasing these guys ahead. Runs a bit deep. I wonder if that's going to be a warning. It has to be. Soap is fighting the car as well because a bit deep in that exit. Oh, these guys are super close. It is definitely about the exit on these chicanes here. You want to get a good entry here and put the throttle down. SF1 Tom gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Here comes the DRS train we were talking about. Will any of these guys have enough to make a move here? Soap's gearing in. SF1 Stig into turn 1. Nobody was close enough to make a move. Stig's really close to Shuf. Stig was very, very excited for this race. He said he had his setup dialed in perfectly. We'll see if that panders out through the remainder of this race. Sitting behind Shuf. He did get his first podium of the season last weekend, finished P2. Can he do the same this evening and keep that form up? Yellow Sector 2, what has happened to Chattalulu? Wonder if Chattalulu and SF1 Tom had a collision. Chattalulu now down 7.5 seconds. Is there any damage on that front wing? Let's see, no damage to be reported, so he's good to carry on. However, a little bit down the ways. That's helped Croce catch up just a bit. Hubdy is now catching him. Zero is hauling Hubdy in though. Hellboy is sitting. Anton just keeps setting faster and faster laps. I think he's in a zone of his own this evening like he usually is. This man is lightning fast. It's a privilege to see him race. Unfortunately, sometimes I wish there were a couple guys that we had that could really put the battle on with this guy. Stig now just behind Shuf, still fighting him into the center S's. Getting close closer and closer, but no move yet to be done. Lap 9. These laps are actually ticking down quite a bit. Soap's not too far off of these two from battling. Tom is about a second behind Soap. Can he get closer? We have 7-0 now within a second of Hovde. 7/10, actually 6/10. I might have to jump down to that battle going on. Let's do it. These two need a little bit of screen time. Zero. Unfortunate incident in turn 1 at lap 1. Now finds himself just behind that Alfa Romeo. AlphaTauri versus Alfa Romeo. Getting close. Let's jump on board with Zero. Who is that just ahead? That is Hovde. These guys have caught Hovde like crazy. This might help Hovde, or not Hovde, Croce. This might help Hovde just a bit here in a bit to get DRS on him. Hovde's not close enough though this time around. Goes a bit deep into the final chicane. Pulls within. Oh no, that's gonna hurt his exit. Here comes Zero. DRS is open. Oh, that was close in the gearbox. It should just about be Zero's position. Going into turn 1, yeah, Hovde allows him to have that episode. Ooh, that was close. Zero free now to chase Croce down in that Ferrari. Gaps at the top. Stig is hanging on to the back of that Red Bull, but Schub is really trying to press those mediums. Devil is going to the hard compound, as well as Lord Bumbledore. See how long those guys can take that, if they can take him to the end, because they are 6 laps into him. Keep a lookout. Can Stig get closer? Schuf and him are having quite a battle this evening. 4 P4s. Now, unfortunately, Schuf does have 6 seconds, as I mentioned earlier in the stream. Croce and Hovde. Hovde has gotten around Croce. Zero now has 13 seconds separating himself from his teammate. Can he have a charge towards him? Stig not anywhere close enough to make a move on Schuf. Schuf doing everything he needs to hold on to that P4. Unfortunately, the cap is not in his favor. Let's take a look. We have another battle here. Croce and Hovde. Ferrari versus Alfa Romeo. Croce's gonna have DRS. Can he get close enough? Pushing that car through turn 1 and 2, coming up to the Senna S's, trying to hold on to the back of Hovde, which is no easy feat. Hovde now chasing Zero. Chattalulu, unfortunately, kind of in a world of his own, as well as the gap between the top. Anton has put 12.4 seconds between himself and P2. At this point, I wonder if the guys on the podium are just keeping it clean and running laps, because Enzo is now 3.9, now 4 seconds behind Harrison, and Schuf is 2.5 seconds, with Stig just on that gearbox, as SF1 Tom's gotten a good run on Soap here. Coming into the final few chicane. SF1 Tom will have DRS. 5/10 separate him. Is that close enough? He's gotten a good run out of the final exit. Though I think he's still a little too far back. Let's jump on board. Soap into turn 1. Oh, Soap went a little wide there. Tom had a look. Tom's back end steps out just a bit. These guys having quite a race in the mid-pack. That's where you want to see the action at this evening. Top 3 are just in a class of their own this evening. Luckily for Harrison, didn't get the qualifying glitch like he did last time, as Lord Bumbledore is now catching the back end of Aruzia. This might be an interesting battle. Hards versus mediums. Aruzia has 8 laps on his, including that spin, which might have cost him a little bit more of a tire jag situation. Lord Dumbledore is going to have DRS. He's with 5/10. Is that close enough, though, coming in on the start-finish line? DRS is open for the Haas driver. Anton picks up a 3-second time penalty. Still puts him 10.9 seconds up the road. And he sets another fast lap. He's coming up to lap these guys anytime soon. You guys hear that in the background? Daughter is excited to watch this race. Can Lord Dumbledore get close enough to have a look at Aruzia? It's no easy feat to pass Aruzia. Aruzia, the pace. Oh no! Dumbledore's off into the gravel. He's gonna have to be careful with Anton coming through. Jump on board, make sure. Alright, so Anton on his way through. What about Harrison? Enzo's gonna see that. I wonder if that's gonna upset Enzo at all. Seeing his teammate being lapped already by lap 13. Stig on the back of Shu. Really on that gearbox now, the Red Bull. I believe they can. Is that is Enzo? So they can see Enzo just ahead. The podium position. Mediums are starting to give out. Tire Dig is starting to come into play with some of these drivers. A lot of them going for the medium compound. I'm sure will die for the hard compounds towards the end of this race. Jump on board with this man, Shu. Watch him holding off that Alfa Romeo driver. As Croce picks up a 3-second time penalty. So the time penalties are starting to roll in just a bit. He does have Hellboy just behind him. Keeping on board these two battling it out. And then I'll jump to that battle. Yeah, Enzo's not too far off. These guys are starting to put the pace down. Catching that Haas driver just ahead. Stig closer this time around. Is he close enough? Stig's gonna go for a look. No, he thought not just yet. Gonna be a little bit more patient. Had a look, but it wasn't meant to be just yet. He has to stay on the back of that gearbox. Red Bull driver defending his position as hard as he can. They don't want to get caught fighting too much though, because they do have Enzo just ahead of them. Take a look at Croce and Hellboy. Croce is around. Is he though? Hellboy has DRS into turn 1. Croce yields and lets that Renault up through. Oh, Hellboy lost it. Croce had to check up. What a moment's reaction. That was good by Croce. Keep an eye on some of these guys here. Stig still 5/10 behind, 4/10 still following that Red Bull. Can't get around him. SF1 Tom still following Soap. Gap at the top, 15.8 seconds now. Enzo's following 4 seconds behind Harrison. Schuf is 3.5 seconds, so they have lost a little bit of time to Enzo. What if Enzo turned down for a couple of laps to extend his fuel or his tires? Stig is into the pits. He's going to be the first one to blink, probably going under those hards. Let's ride on board with him. Hard compounds are definitely going on for that Alfa Romeo driver on his way out. Zero just rounding the bend now. I don't know if he'll get out ahead of Stig. Let's jump on board. Stig's out of the pits now. Trying to warm those tires. Might have cost him a bit of time because Zero's just behind him. This might be a battle to watch. Fresh hards are a bit of a trick to get warmed up, so Stig's going to have to buy in his time with Zero just behind him. Keep an eye on the guys ahead of him to see when those guys decide to dive into the pits. Stig the first one to do so this evening to the hard compound. Touches the grass just a bit. I believe Zero just did as well. That's right. Basically, Anton more than a second faster than anyone. Yes, he has shown up this evening to improve his pace. He has before called this more of a practice league, which I'm okay with. Pushes some of these drivers to get a little bit quicker. Anton gearing up for the esports invitation. I know he was accepted towards it. Zero chasing on Stig on this brand new hard compounds. Tom. Oh, Tom and Soap having a bit of contact into the final chicane. Soap on his way through. Tom. Maybe a little bit of a shoulder pump there. Unfortunately, he will stay P6 though. No damage to reported from that McLaren. Depending on how long these guys stay out on the mediums, I wonder if Stig's choice to go towards those hard compounds a little early will pay off. So some of these guys on 15 laps already, yet to dive in. And Zeros is right on the back of Stig still. Hovde's left the session. Hopefully he can join back in. Sitting P10, that's going to help Hellboy catch back up to him. Are a little spaced out now, so let's ride on board sector 1 yellow. What has happened? Zero's caught the outside curb, I believe. Does he have damage? He has heavy damage on the front left of that wing. End plate is missing. We have a couple winglets missing as well, so Hellboy now on the charge here to try to get around the AlphaTauri driver. Zero's going to pull over and let him do so. That is just a punch in the gut really for Zero. Had an incident in turn 1 at the beginning of this race and now has caught the curb on the outside, damaging his car. All the top guys now into the pits. We have Anton in the pits. Puts on a set of soft compounds. He's going to run a double soft here at the end. So it's going to move up to P2, get the pit. Harrison's going to come out P3. Where's Stig at in all this? Coming around the final corner. See if the undercut has helped him at all. There is Shoot. So 2 laps. The undercut didn't quite work out for SF1 Stig, still behind Shoot. How long is Soap going to stay on those medium compounds? Everybody, oh, okay, I guess it. They're not going to do a double soft run. They're going to go to the medium or the soft. So Stig might have made the wrong call here, possibly. As Shoof has gone to the soft compound, so that's going to be a hard feat. As Soft will take him 10 laps into this race, because I didn't realize it's already lap 17. 10 laps remain in this race. A lot of the guys at the back pitting. We have Zero pitting. We have Aruzia into the pits. Aruzia putting on those soft compounds. Enzo has left the session. That is not going to help him. Hopefully he can get back in. Yeah, Stig and Shoot, you can see the pace difference already from Stig and Shoot. Shoot further up the road. Sector 2 yellow. What is... Oh no, that's Chattalulu. He's around. Something has happened to the AlphaTauri driver. No damage though. Good to carry on. I wonder if he's caught that outside curve. What is that? Soap is in the pits. And for some reason they've fitted Enzo's car. Again, so... That is... Oh, don't tell me they're going to put on the hard compound. No, they're going to put on another soft compound to the end. That is killer. This game and its connection to the servers is not the greatest. That's going to put Hellboy up in position. Enzo's up. No, Chattalulu is going to come up to the ghosted car of Enzo and pass through. Hubdy on his way out of the pits on a set of soft compounds to take him to the end. Enzo's gotten back in, and I think he's going to be relatively peeved off that the AI decided to pit his car for no apparent reason, because the softs will last. Zero is sitting P13. Chattalulu gets himself a 3-second time penalty from P8 on the grid. Stig sitting in P4. 3 seconds separate himself from Shoof. Anton sits at 28.5. He's got to keep that within 6 seconds to grab himself a podium. Let's give you guys a look at the penalties situation so far. We have Anton sitting on 3 seconds. We have Harrison clean as a button. Shoof is 6 seconds. Stig clean. SF1 Tom is on 6 seconds. Soap and Hellboy, the 2 Renault drivers, clean. Chattaloola sitting on 3. Enzo's clean. Prix is on 3, and the rest of the drivers sitting clean on the grid. Take a look at the positions. Lord Bumbledore gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Positions so far in this race, we have Shoof up 7 positions. We have Tom up 6. We have Hellboy up 1. Oh no, he's down 1 now. We have Prociy up 3. We have Devla up 3. We have Zero up 3. And the biggest loser so far is Enzo. Unfortunately, because of what has happened, he had a disconnection and now he's sitting 5 positions down. You guys look at the tires again. You guys see that? That's my daughter. She's going crazy. She's having fun in her jumper. So 4.3 seconds now separate. Is there any deltas that are close? We have Enzo now just behind Hellboy. Anton sits at 27.7. Man is flying this evening. Though getting closer. Arusea gets himself a 3-second time penalty for pushing the limits. And Enzo get closer to Hellboy here in the closing stages. 7 laps remain in this race. Enzo getting closer and closer to that Renault driver. It should be no task, or not that much of a task, as Hellboy is sitting on 15 lap oil mediums. I believe he should be diving in the pits or trying to extend those. But Enzo here with DRS should have a clean pass here. Goes to the inside. Hellboy gives him a bit of a squeeze, and Enzo's around for turn 1. Takes over P8. Now he can go chase down Chattaloola just ahead of him. That is the closest gap. That is actually pretty surprising. These guys kind of in a class of their own after the pit stop, so it might be a quiet few laps here. Keeping an eye on some of these guys with the penalties. Shoof is starting to catch. Is that Harrison ahead? Shoof is catching Harrison. Interesting. Is that? No, that's not Harrison. That is Arusea, I believe. But this man, 21 seconds. SF1 Tom gets himself another time penalty, so that's going to put him up to 9 seconds. That's going to drop him, let me do the quick math, just around P10. Actually, it'll be P9 for the time being. This man catching some of the back marks. He's actually catching his teammate, Devla, who's filling in for Eros. Soap gets a 3-second time penalty. Devla pulls over to let Anton through. Don't want to blind him too much. This man sitting P2. Shoof 7 seconds behind. Almost 8 seconds now. What are these guys' deltas? We have a battle here for Bumbledore and Arusea gonna have at it again this evening. Hopefully no contact this second time around. Keep an eye on this. Boy, Bumbledore getting closer and closer to Arusea. Keeping up with the GP1 driver. He's having quite a good race. I know he's sitting P15, but he's a reserve this evening. Cuts that corner just a bit. I wonder if all 4 tires were off. I believe that's Shoof just ahead. Bumbledore closing the gap on Arusea going into the final hairpin. Ooh, that was close. Bumbledore hard on. Let's jump on board. Give you guys a rear view mirror camera of Arusea. Lap 22 in the books. We have 27 laps in this race. Gonna leave these guys with 5 laps remaining. Lord Bumbledore closing in the gap, but not close enough with DRS. Closer and closer though. Arusea goes a bit deep. Bumbledore is going to have to settle the car down and to stay behind the Mercedes driver. Getting closer I think the dirty air is still holding on to these guys. What a feat for Bumbledore's gonna have a look. No, don't do it in here. Backs out of it last second. That is good. I would not put the car in there for a move. Jump on board with the Haas driver. You're riding on board with Aruzia. Let's give these guys a little TV time. See, Devla is starting to catch the back end of Croce as well. And Lord Bumbledore have a look here on the start-finish line. It's definitely now on the back of Croce as well. But keep a look up that. Croce gets himself a 3-second time penalty, so that might be big towards the end. Bumbledore not close enough this time around. Jump back on board with Devla catching the back of that Ferrari. Both of these two drivers being GP2 drivers this evening, reserving for their GP1 counterparts. Devla trying to hold his position, getting himself closer. Jump on board with Don Croce. Devla closing the gap into that gearbox. Will he have a look here going into the final few there? No. Devla locks up the tires a little bit heavily. Croce now trying to defend as much as he can. Will he go to the inside? No, he's going to hold to the outside. Devla's going to pull to the inside. Is he close enough? Are they going to go side by side? No, that was close. Whoa, that was close. Devla runs a bit, or Croce runs a bit wide because of that. Devla kind of forcing the hand going up position. Tom now in the back of SF1 Stig. Stig has fallen out of that that podium position. Schuf 8 seconds up the road. And it is going higher and higher. 24 laps. My boy Chattalulu chasing Enzo here for P7. Chattalulu sitting on, I think it's 3 seconds worth of penalties. This man, I can't believe the gap this evening. 25 seconds. He's just doing laps after laps now at this point. Could probably easily dive in for the pits for another set of soft compounds. Harrison trying to hold on. Schuf trying to push the gap between himself and Stig further. That way he can maintain that P3, that podium position. Tom is chasing SF1 Stig here. Tom, though, sitting on a couple penalties himself. That is not going to help his case for P4. Elboy gets himself a 3-second time penalty. It's been quite a subtle race this evening. Some of these guys pressing each other. Some are in a different class of their own this evening. Who's just ahead? I believe that is a lap car. Schuf into turn 1. So DRS is open for SF1 Tom. Can he get himself closer to that Alfa Romeo? Doesn't look like it's going to be the case into turn 1 just yet. 2 laps remain in this race. Closest battle on track actually between these two drivers. So we'll stay on board with them. Who is that? Yeah, just ahead. I wonder if that's, no, that's these two battling it out. They're going to have to give way, though. Bumbledore is still chasing Aruzzi as Bumbledore gets another time penalty. And you guys have a final look at the time penalties so far this race. A couple guys sitting on 6 seconds, a couple guys on 3 seconds. SF1 Tom sitting on 9 seconds. It's gonna drop him further down the grid, I believe. These guys paddling it out. Dumbledore really keen to try to get around that Mercedes driver. Here comes a couple of the guys looking to pass him. Let's take a look here. This is going to help Stig defend against that McLaren. He will have DRS on these guys. Step on Tom chasing him as well. Jump on board with this camera action. The ultimate lap of this Japanese Grand Prix and of our 2020 season, right up until we come back live for the remainder of this season. Four races will remain. Dumbledore looks like he's giving way to some of the guys behind him. Is he or is he not? He's not, so he's battling out through. Stig out 9 seconds. So even if Schuf got another time penalty, Stig would have to push at this point to try to get that podium. As Aruzzi is picking up a 3-second time penalty between these two guys. Who is going to take it between these two guys? Really having a battle. Stig goes really wide. That's going to have Tom have a look here. I think these guys are trying to yield. This is going to get crazy. As Aruzzi is moved out of the way. Oh! They're both ghosting though, so that might help them in this case. No, there's contact made between Dumbledore and Aruzzi. Aruzzi is around for the second time in this race. That has not helped Aruzzi in this race at all. Might be a look for the stewards after this race. Coming up to the final lap, Anton has crossed. Has already begun halfway through this race. Coming up to the Senna S's, Schuf just around turn 1. Side by side, looks like Stig just about held on to that position. Tom's gonna have another look. Hang on to soft compounds, he should have the grip compared to S1 Stig. Tom's losing out just a bit here. Jump on board with this man. Where's he at? He's coming across the line. I'm glad I jumped on this. I could. He's so far up the road, I almost missed it. But Anton's going to come home and dominate the Japanese Grand Prix to take P1 this evening. This man holding on to P2. Come back to him in just a sec. See the battle between Tom and Stig. Still close. We have Hubty working on Hellboy. Just keeping an eye on some of these guys. Jump back on board with Harrison, who's coming around into the final 2 turns of this race. Good enough for a podium, but not enough pace this evening to keep up with Anton's going to cross the line and finish P2. Schuf is done what he needed to. 6 seconds against his name. Strategy played out best. He's going to cross the line and finish the podium. Stig and Tom still battling out here in the final couple corners. SF1 Stig going to cross the line in P4 this evening. Tom crossing the line P5, but it will drop. As here comes Soap, goes to P5. Enzo should take over P6. No, he stays P7. Chattalulu P8. Hellboy's a little further down the road. He does have Hubdy just behind him, so Hubdy should jump him on penalties alone. Here comes the 2, Renault and Alfa Romeo crossing the line. That's strange. Hubdy didn't go anywhere. Surprise. Zero's going to cross the line and finish P11 in this race. What a race that was. I'll give you guys a look at the podium interviews and the race results in just a bit. Our driver of the day is Iran Schuf. Let you guys enjoy the podium celebrations, and we'll be on to the podium interviews. right, ladies and gentlemen, the race rundown here for the results at the Japanese Grand Prix. Round 18, Anton dominates yet another race this evening. P1 for him. Harrison takes home P2, and Shuk rounds out your podium in P3. Running down the rest of the order, we have SF1 Stig in 4th. Soap is 5th. Tom 6th. Enzo 7th. We have Chattalulu in 8th. Hellboy in 9th. Hubdy 10th. Zero 11th. Devla is in 12th. Croce 13th. Lord Bumbledore 14th, Aruzia 15th, and unfortunately our only casualty this evening was Fantastic in P16. So that will do it for this. We're going to have to get these guys into a podium interview celebration. Just a moment, give you guys a look through here. Alright, let's move on to the podium interviews. These guys in. Just have to look at run down the rest of these guys. Oh wow, you guys are quick. You guys are all here already. That makes it so much easier for me. Alright guys, what a race. The mid-pack battle was a lot more interesting than actually running away with the race. We're going to start with our P3. Shoot picking up 3 seconds and having Stig just behind you. But Stig, for some reason, opting to jump in early for the hard compounds kind of, I think, played a little nice shot in his foot that he couldn't keep up with you towards the end. So you're able to put up 9 seconds between yourself and him, picking up P3. Run us through your race.
Yeah, I had a pretty good start, got about 3 positions on lap 1, and I also forgot to change my front wing. So I was really slow in the first sector, but I gained a lot in the second sector. Then nothing happened. I defended from Stig, and Enzo left, so that kind of gifted me the 3rd place since Stig went on the hards. So yeah, that was basically mine.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that at one point. Yeah, Enzo, unfortunately, running around with you guys with SF on Stig and being in P3, he cut out, lost connection, and for some reason his AI car decided to pit right after he just pitted for a new set of soft compounds. So unfortunate for him, but fortunate for you to grab P3 this evening. So congratulations. All right, we're moving on to Harrison. Picking up P2, a little bit more points to that name on the championship battle. Another podium in the bag for yourself this evening, heading into our 2-week break. Kind of a quiet one this evening. Got yourself into P2 and just basically ran laps this evening. So talk us through your race, because I'm not sure much really happened for you this evening.
No, it was just a bit of action with Enzo. He tried to go around the outside of me at, I think it was turn 4, but he had to back out of it. And then after that, I was just trying to extend the gap over Enzo. I had no chance of catching Anton because his pace is just insane. Just trying to keep off the curbs where the time penalties come at this track and just keeping it clean, basically.
So solid job this evening. Grab P2. Heading into a break, I'm sure you're looking forward to it. Are you looking forward to our track in 2 weeks' time, the United States Grand Prix?
The Circuit of Americas, I actually love that track. It's not one of my top favorites, but I do love it.
Sounds good. We'll make sure to catch you there. But congratulations, Harrison, on your P2 this evening.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll move it on to the man who pretty much dominated this race. And I know you've called this pretty much practice, and I'm okay with it at this point, because tonight, Anton, you showed what you really can do. Almost 26 seconds separated yourself from the field. Probably one of the most boring races you've ever run, but talk us through it, because that was lightning fast, especially in qualifying, the wet qualifying you had. I thought maybe at Q2 you were struggling just a bit, but come Q3 you really turned the jets on.
Yeah, hi first of all, and yeah, thank you for congratulate myself for the race. And yeah, in Q2, I wanted to go later because I thought it was quite safe with enters, but but the weather was quite heavier after mid-session in Q2, so that was pretty drifty, if I can say that. So that was pretty close. I was drifting everywhere, so that was pretty close to. I didn't see the gap to qualifying to Q3, but that was pretty scary for me, to be honest. And yeah, after during the race, that was quite, yeah, as you said, a practice, because I have Japan soon, so I wanted to be at 100%, and that's what I did. So yeah, perfect race, part of penalties, but it was like yeah practice, and pretty good race, to be honest.
I would say so myself. That was lightning fast, but congratulations, Anton.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for you guys' podium. So one more final congratulations to Shoof, Harrison, and Anton this evening. Solid race from all of you guys to get yourself on the podium. Pretty quiet for most of the way through on the second part of the race, but we will be back in 2 weeks' time at the United States Grand Prix. We hope that everybody enjoys their nice holiday, and I'm definitely going to enjoy the 2 weeks off, but until then, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time. Happy holidays, everybody, and I will see you in 2021. Hopefully it's a better year. Until then, we're going to sign off for the evening. Good night. SF1 is signing out.